First impressions are important. And that's why I thought it was a good idea to record the first episode of my first podcast during a tornado warning. This is the the one episode rule. A show mostly about first impressions and weeaboo trash. I'm gonna let my co-hosts or guests introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm Blackle. I'm an awful gremlin from Canada.
All right.
I'm Joey. I have seen all of One Piece.
Impressive.
And I am Emma, a registered, legally weeaboo, and Japanese minor, if that helps.
It does not. Anyway.
No.
You say legally weeaboo, like legally blonde.
Oh man.
That'll be the next blockbuster, I swear it.
That'll be the
Like
next
it's
podcast.
That's true.
Okay. So what this show is that like every week or every episode at least, I and a rotating cast of acquaintances and friends.
Miscreants, you could call us.
What we're going to do is that we are going to, well, I'm selecting this time. It may be somebody else in the future. We will select a available anime from the mountain of just trash that's available out there, and we will watch the first episode of this randomly selected anime, and then
That's it.
and then we will, and that's it, and you'll know about it. No,
Yeah.
no, and then we will come back here and discuss it.
Yeah.
Blackle has been asking me for the past 3 days what we're going to watch, so I better lead into it. Does anybody want to give me a drum roll or anything? Okay, I'm sorry I asked.
Refuse.
Our first episode's random anime is Wizard Barristers. A show I saw out of the corner of my eye once and said, I have to know what that is.
Well, it looks like it's available on Canadian Crunchyroll, so we are golden.
Yay. My reaction is exactly what I thought, which is I have never heard of it.
Fantastic.
Lady Justice.
There's a bit of catharsis to this because I feel like I've had this hanging over my head for so long that I was so afraid of what it could possibly be.
I saw.
Okay,
It's now a known danger.
I know.
Here's the $1,000 question: have you seen this anime before, Emma?
I have not, thankfully.
Okay. You now owe me $1,000.
Fantastic.
No, I don't.
Fantastic. I just saw this one time, and I was just I just thought that A, I had to know what it was, and B, I saw in the description something really crazy that I wanted to investigate. So for now, let's wrap it up and go watch the thing. All right, so we're back. Who has thoughts that they must talk about right now?
I have a lot of thoughts.
There's a lot of thoughts.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot here.
There's a lot to unpack.
I have to get this out, but and then I guess I'll let Blackle talk, which is my main thing is Frog bad.
Frog
Very bad.
Frog very bad. My first talking point was going to be about how I need to end the life of the frog.
Kermit the Frog needs to be euthanized.
How bad the frog is. Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I hate that thing so much.
I'm glad we all agree.
All right.
I don't want to throw that thing into a trash compactor.
All right.
Just saying what's on my mind.
Can we start maybe with just a brief summary of what we were, let's say, subjected to?
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take from your tone that you were not particularly impressed with the content.
I wouldn't say impressed, no.
I think there were a little bit too many stimulants in the writing room.
Yeah, I think. Okay, so Wizard Banisters
Barristers.
that's what I said. is
They keep
okay.
you from falling off the stairs.
My God, everybody, can we just be cool for a second while I talk about
Sorry.
Wizard Bagisters?
Okay.
Okay, so Wizard Ballisters is a show about.
This is a bit now, is it?
Don't lampshade it.
Is about wizards who are lawyers.
Yeah.
It's just about wizard lawyers helping wizard criminals not go to wizard jail.
Or
Yes.
well, we haven't. Well, I suppose we did establish the existence of wizard prison. The first wizard that we saw commit a crime did not get to go to wizard prison,
No, he sure didn't.
which
He
I
just
thought.
They did not pass go.
By evil giant magic orb.
Yeah, I thought this was particularly notable that apparently when the sentence from the wizard judge is wizard death, it is executed immediately in the courtroom.
In the fucking courtroom.
May I just point
Specifically.
out what I wrote on my notes here? I wrote down Vord to death, so that's
Oh,
what I thought
fantastic.
about that situation.
I noted that this execution was actually particularly metal.
It was metal. I didn't really understand why the judge had a mallet that turned a gavel rather that like turned into a goat skull thing.
And then like ejected a like spirit dragon to summon the death orb. This
Yeah.
is ridiculous.
I thought the spirit dragon was going to eat the guy, but then the spirit dragon just kind of flew over him and then turned the ground into a death orb, which I thought,
It's a little bit convoluted.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a lot of
Magic,
moving
baby.
parts. I suppose that's true. I suppose that is magic.
It just confused
metal.
him.
good. What were some things you guys liked about this?
I
It was pretty high
could
energy.
it was very high energy. Could I just say two things that were in my notes that I wrote down? So it's
Sure.
2 points right after one after another. So this I wrote down immediately after fucking Mechagodzilla materialized. After she told the cops to go away. And I wrote down, what the hell? It just fucking Mechagodzilla is just fucking suddenly there. And that was quite the thematic change. And I was hoping that this story would be like a technically realistic study on what would happen if magic was real, and they'd need legal representation. I thought there was going to be some like 4-dimensional chess. I thought it was going to be sophisticated. I thought there was just going to be stuff like happening that like made your brain turn. But like now we just have fucking like dragons flying around. And
Well,
it's just like things exploding. But then I said 0 out of 10 after that. But then almost immediately after, I learned that she was half Canadian, and I changed my rating to 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
I did
Okay.
write Canadians
That's fair.
down at some point.
I did also write down Canadian.
It's interesting to see any Canadians in media. This is true.
Yeah,
It's
surprising to see them in like Japanese media of all things.
But
I'm just glad we got one of our Canadian correspondents to join in on this.
I am half of her.
Yes. I think that it was very well animated. I think that
I agree.
I think the
I
art
didn't think
style
so.
was really. I thought the art style was really nice. I liked the effects. I thought the 3D for the Diaboloids was interesting.
I liked the train scene, really. I thought that
I-
was very cool.
I wrote down that the train physics were kind of ridiculous.
yeah,
That's very true.
That was a pretty odd scene for me because it started like a scene, relatively close to Harrison Ford fleeing the U.S. Marshals on the train in The Fugitive, and ended
Sure.
with a train flipping end over end down the train tracks and then exploding, killing what I assume to be like 300 people, including the entire SWAT
Oh,
team
for
that was on that
sure.
train.
Yes.
Definitely.
And
This
for
from a
some
show.
reason,
This from a show I really expected to be like Phoenix Wright with elf ears on.
that's what I was hoping going in.
I think I would have. My enjoyment would have been 3,000 times more if it was that. If it had just been like a weird zany magic phoenix, right?
Yeah, I did think it was gonna be like a lot more like goofball-y. But they're like between like goofy and like going for an actual serious thing is very strange in this.
It has some tone problems.
This show is like a bunch of people having a tough life, and then 4 male gaze women are just posturing randomly and saying "yeah" at random intervals.
And what?
That's
like
how it
half
felt
of
to me.
them. Why do all the ladies seem so horny? Did anyone else get that?
They were all very horny.
They were all very
They
horny.
seem pretty horned up.
Like the supervisor was like, was the supervisor hitting on her? Was that what?
I do not know.
Did I misread that? I don't. And then
I thought it was. I thought there was a little bit of like horns there, but like
there seemed to be some of that.
That was weird.
And then
honestly, I was gonna say honestly, I did think the design for the main character was very cute.
I like the part when she claimed that her outfit was her battle clothes in a nonchalant way that did not sound insane.
That's and that changed the course of that. Was like, oh, they're your battle clothes? Okay, understandable.
And no one questioned it.
It's like, oh, I understand. You say no more. I understand.
It would be like one of the regular cops going, "This is my battle suit."
It's like he's just naked.
My suit.
Can I also?
Bullets in the pocket.
Can we also take a minute to talk about the design of the boss with the blue hair? Because I don't like him.
Yeah,
I hate to look at him.
Down.
Oh, with his bad eyes, yeah.
The bad eyes and the bad hair.
The eyebrows.
The hair that moves.
The wiggles.
He had some really impressive pants going on.
I missed that. I was too busy looking at his horrible hair and eyes.
I'm very proud to say that my eyes never drifted south along that man.
They were just completely, tidally locked to his face and hair.
Well, for whatever reason, he apparently chose to wear just like white pinstriped pants, which I thought was pretty interesting.
That's a look.
I mean, I guess
that's a statement.
Also, did anyone notice the really okay? Sorry to jump back to something else, but did anyone notice the fucking abrupt music change that happened when the first wizard jumped out of the train through the hole he made and looked at the helicopter?
No.
Did anyone know? Because it was like the music was like going, and then like it almost sounded like they played another music sample over top of what was happening.
They very well may have done so. The editing in the show, I think, is shocking.
I don't like it.
It's not very well paced or scored or acted or written or conceived.
I mean, okay, no, I think that this could be like a good idea to do, but like what they actually did with it is strange to me. Like that's all I can call it is strange.
It's very weak for a first episode, I think. And I mean, of course, I'm sure that like the Diaboloids make more sense later and things like that, but
you know what it felt to me? You know what it felt to me was, okay, so the woman's like, hey, let's take a break and get some donuts and have a chat. And I thought it was like, okay, the episode maybe is winding down and we're like gonna get some character development and learn more about who these people are, because currently I don't know who the fuck anyone is. And then as they're talking, it starts to sink in, holy fuck, these two voice actresses sound exactly the fucking same. If I close my eyes, I don't know who is talking. And also I don't know what's happening because I don't understand Japanese. But and then it's like, okay, they're talking about like some completely inane shit that doesn't matter. And it's almost as if like the person writing the script got like halfway through and like a little jolt happened in the back of their head. And they're like, I'm bored. Let's make something happen. And then like explosion, man appears. Man with knife also appears.
Lightning happens. Somebody's gonna get their face cut.
and then she disintegrates half of the things that are around.
Yeah. That was another part that didn't make a ton of sense to me.
I think she was
Yeah.
repurposing the local metal supply to make her weird summon.
I understood that. What I didn't really get was like why.
What I thought was interesting was like the whole like metal dissolving thing. I'm like, oh, that's a cool spell. It would have taken me a while to think of that one. But then it's like, and then the metal turns into a robot. It's like, oh, okay.
It's like, oh, we're going. This is the way we're going.
This is where we're going. Okay.
All right. I don't know how long these episodes should go. How long have we been talking?
I don't know.
I also wanted to mention that her mom's in fucking Azkaban.
Oh yeah.
It's literally Azkaban.
It is just Azkaban that her mother appears to be in.
Speaking of, I did want to mention one of the things that made me pick this show was I saw like half of the description once, and it said, in the year 2018, wizards live amongst humans, suggesting that they were a different fucking species.
That's what I was wondering. They're they're registered as wizards. Are they?
What is the name that they use?
Wood is what they say, but they translate it as wood.
Wood.
It's not very good.
I'm a wood.
It's pretty alarming.
So, are they born wizards, or do they become wizards? I guess that's maybe a question the show might answer later on.
Some have wizards thrust upon them.
Well,
I would have to think. I would have to think it has to be like genetic or hereditary.
Yeah, or like maybe it's like you take a blood test when you're born, and they're like, "Oh, yeah, we got a what here."
Oh yeah, we got one of these.
Yeah.
Into the incinerator. So
which I think has some really bad implications for the way the government works.
It does. Like, and she was like reciting all her rights to like the cops that tried to pull her over, and was like,
That was kind of cool. I think that scene.
Oh, it was interesting.
I know my rights. Fuck you.
It did make me think awfully bold of these cops to pull someone over who could just blow them up. Who could just absolutely summon a fucking like Mecha Ghidorah and just like stomp the yard with them.
You're gonna turn your fillings into a robot that's gonna like curl up your dick and expand.
Well, by contrast, she did like mouth off to the cops pretty aggressively, and they do have firearms.
That's true.
That's true.
That brings me back to the point at the beginning where they shoot the wizard, and it's like I wrote down in quotation marks, "Why don't you just shoot Voldemort?"
This is a
Why
good
didn't
question.
they just shoot Voldemort?
They did also have the like handcuffs that could like stop their powers from working. And okay, I'm not gonna be this person that's gonna turn everything into One Piece, but I was like, One Piece, they do that.
All right, granted. So
You get one piece for each episode.
Yep, that was my episode. Like that was my one.
So I guess I'll ask now. Are any of you going to be continuing with this series? Is this a
Shake's head.
Is this a go to 3 episodes or leave it?
I think that my one and only interest in continuing observing this show is to see if they kill the little frogman Bone. Otherwise, I'm probably going to put a pin in this one.
Yeah. I think I'm going to set this one down.
I wouldn't be necessarily opposed, but just given the like amount of interest I have in it, probably won't, to be honest.
I might watch another episode. They threw so much at us in the first episode.
They
we
did.
should
A whole lot.
we should give them some credit in that in no way is this slow.
No,
That's
it's not.
true.
In fact, it is kind of uncomfortably fast.
Yeah.
It was hard to not pay attention to.
So
It was hard to breathe.
so
Part of that came from how just absolutely ugly all the character designs were, but
Oh, you were not fond
Oh
of
my
them?
god.
I didn't think all of them were very bad. Like I was okay with a decent amount of them, but there were some.
Did it?
I mean, the
ones in
cops,
there.
the cops looked like real people.
I was going to say
Well,
the
yeah.
cops looked fine because they were just normal people in normal clothes.
Yeah, did anyone find a lot of the characters to seem kind of disproportionate in like weird, not like to affect the goal of like making them more sexually attractive, but like in weird ways.
Just
Like,
kind of weird looking folks.
just, like,
with
kinda weird,
clothes,
like-
yes.
Neck's a bit longer, neck's a bit shorter, head a bit more conical than maybe it should be.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean,
that one.
I mean, maybe I don't know. I appreciate creating
I don't-
like, visual distinctions between characters. Like,
Sure.
I don't want to continue. I don't want to like say that they're ugly or anything. I'm just saying that like maybe they were disproportionate in a not visually consistent way.
you know,
Like maybe
Yeah,
in one scene they look a little bit different
I
than in
see
another.
Oh,
what you
that's
mean.
not
Like
good.
they might not all necessarily fit together in some ways.
but
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I at least appreciate that this show doesn't appear to have same face syndrome as a problem.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's very true.
And I might even watch another episode or two because I want to learn what that filthy old horrible wizard man deal is. You know, the little dumpy guy with the
Oh,
with the
you mean the
ponytail.
guy who was playing like checkers with himself?
Yeah, the guy that was playing
swirling
fucking
man?
Go on his desk in the law offices
And spinning around in a chair and stuff.
and sitting on his knees in an office chair. That's a weird dude. I kind of want to know what his deal is. All right.
Yeah.
I guess.
Does anyone? Does anyone have anything else in their notes that they haven't gotten to that they want to bring up?
Let me check. Check my notes. We took notes because we're good students. Let's see. What did I write here? Bad CGI. I didn't like the CGI building at the beginning. I enjoy that this character somehow managed to pass the bar at 15 years old.
Just a real baller.
That's pretty alarming. Especially if, say, you are the person who has received this public defender.
I mean, that's like they say is that's amazing what children can do if you push them to their fucking breaking point.
So you're sitting you're sitting in your fucking interview room, and it's just be like, "Hi guys, I'm your attorney."
I'm your attorney.
Somebody give me a scratchy voice teen voice. I can't do it.
I'm your attorney.
I'm your attorney.
Okay, I shouldn't have asked for that because
out of here.
No.
what I got was a nightmare. Okay. I
Could
guess.
Sorry, I feel like I have a lot to say about this show.
Oh, you do? Do you want to continue?
I just want to say I want to have one point, which is in all caps in my notes.
Yeah.
And I want you to throw your memory back to what you just watched. But you know the thing where they're showing the flashback of what happened with the bank robbery, where like they come in on the Mechagodzilla,
Yeah.
and then like did anyone notice that like a weird protrusion comes out of the Mechagodzilla?
I was
and then they
hoping
jump out of
that no
they
one
jump
would
out of the
mention
tip of it. They jump out of the blue tip, and was that the dragon's penis?
it. No, it wasn't. We're not going to
No, it
acknowledge
couldn't.
this.
It couldn't have been.
Did they jump out of the dragon's penis in order to rob the
It
bank?
couldn't have been, and here's why. I don't want it to have been.
Good
yeah,
for
let's-
me. Good job I'm doing as a host, as an MC. Just now realizing that there is a recording time on this program that I'm using to record it.
Oh my god.
Oh, good.
And we have only been talking for 20 minutes about this. So,
What?
Fair. Fair. A couple of things that I missed in my notes. Everyone in the show had a lisp. Not really a bad thing. Just shocking, mostly.
I'm not
Surprising.
really qualified to detect that sort of thing.
I feel like you'd
neither.
only really like notice that if you could like kind of understand the language somewhat.
That's fair. That's why my expertise is needed.
You are paying
I
your way.
know a little bit.
You're
about
over here.
Japanese.
You're over here being like, I can detect that they all have a lisp in this language that no one else knows, and then I'm over here being like, she's half Canadian. 10 out of 10.
Canadian.
Canadian.
Academian.
She's an academia nut.
No, that's a different anime. Yeah, I mean, if you guys want some language notes, like a bunch of the characters had lisps, which was really weird. The blonde guy who was like inexplicably rude to the girl, like right before he left, was speaking like a samurai.
That's
which-
very interesting.
Is that the one with the long hair, or
the long blonde hair guy. I mean, he was talking like ridiculously formal, like nobody talks like this.
Did he?
Yeah.
Did anybody
Do you
notice
think
that he like puffed up his lapel to show off his wizard barrister badge, like Phoenix Wright's attorney badge?
I mean,
And did he also immediately say that Bannisters doesn't help anything?
Yeah, banisters don't.
he went to wizard school for like 12 years probably, so he's probably very proud of his wizard backyardigan badge.
all I wrote about him in my notes was bitchy, and I circled it.
I'm gonna make a note here is that I barely remembered this character's existence until I thought about his little badge. So
Good.
because I was thinking about Phoenix Wright and having a better time. So you guys just want to watch the Phoenix Wright anime?
You guys just want to, let's
wouldn't mind
just
that.
scrap this whole thing. We'll
Palate
talk about
cleanser.
Phoenix Wright for the rest of the show.
Yeah, we'll get in a rabbit after this, maybe.
Yeah.
And
Honestly, here's the thing, like, I didn't have a bad time watching this. It was
No.
just, like, it was just kind of, like, okay-ish.
I guarantee you
only
we are
times
going
I-
to.
the only
I guarantee you we are going to see worse if we continue.
That's
I
very
don't-
I'm
true.
sure.
It's
not
just
surprised.
a matter of time.
I would like to go ahead and solemnly swear, and for you listeners at home, if I break this maxim, then strike me dead, but I am going to try not to actively choose things I know will be bad for this show.
God bless you.
I will make
I don't
such
want to
promise.
torture you guys. Yeah, okay. That's fair.
I refuse to take this oath.
That's
Make the
fair.
opposite promise.
Okay, alright. Well,
Yeah, to be clear, I like what Joey said. I didn't dislike this. I didn't like it, but I didn't dislike it. And
no.
also,
It was
the only time I really wanted to press Alt F4 was when the fucking I don't think I need to mention Kermit the Frog. But
When
fucking frog.
when the frog was doing
Frog
its
started
thing.
groping the girl. It was
Grabbing the butt, and
it was
was
nasty.
not good.
folks.
Hey, at least you did whoop his ass, but that really does suggest that that's going to keep happening.
Yeah, and I don't love that.
I'm not.
And-
I
super
don't like
into
that either.
I feel
Yeah.
like perverted animal mascot characters is like a popular thing in a lot of animes.
It is, unfortunately, and I think it's just a bad thing all around. But I think especially egregious here is the fact that he's clearly voiced by a 60-year-old man.
That's
Yeah,
not.
not good.
It's not very good. So he's like
bad.
this 3-foot tall frog who's jumping around and says "bone" at the end of all his words.
He's just like
and-
kettle bone.
Good job, on.
Honk honk honk.
It's really, really bad.
Yeah.
Is the Bond thing supposed to imply that he's somehow French?
I thought it was supposed to be sort of a froggy kind of noise, to be honest.
It might be. I'm really rusty on my
Honorifics.
No, it's not. It's definitely not an honorific.
Animal noises, sort of.
Yeah, it's an SFX.
Okay.
It's a special effect kind of.
It's an
thing.
ass effect. Just kidding.
It's a Mass Effect.
It is a mass thing. Well, I mean,
And
I'm not terribly upset by it because I'm aware of anime tropes and that anime characters will just say weird shit that means nothing. So
Yeah.
Sure.
It just bends my brain to think who is this for?
I think
Who is
specifically.
watching this and being like, oh yes,
This
Get in there, Frog. Listen, there's an audience for it. People love Minata.
I was about to say for the frog or for the show in general, because the show in general is obviously for people who see the name Wizard Barristers and go, "I have to know what the fuck that is."
Yes.
I feel like there's also an element of this is for the horny audiences.
A lot.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of anime for that.
Fair.
That's fine, I guess.
So, sorry, just one last note on the frog. Bong, I feel like it must just be like a bouncing sound. Like it must be him being like boing, boing.
That makes
But
sense.
also, bong, bong is a way to describe, it's kind of hard to explain exactly, but like, bong, bong is like an adjective for, like a really posh person who like doesn't really know how the world is supposed to work, which maybe that's what it's supposed to be, because he does seem to be an out of touch, nasty little frog man.
You're really opening the puzzle box here.
Yeah, listen,
we can't really deep dog on this frog, man.
I want so badly to deep dog on the deep frog.
No. Well, anyway, let's start wrapping it up now.
We need to put the frog in the trash
I think deep dog on the deep frog is probably a good point to stop the episode.
It's probably the time to wrap it up. So I'm gonna say, this is I don't know if this first episode went well, but if you want to send us some fan mail or maybe some suggestions of just, I'm sure purposefully horrible weeaboo trash to watch, then
sure.
Make us suffer.
Let me find it. I made this earlier today.
If you could, dear listener, draw a picture of the frog being destroyed, I would quite appreciate that.
If any of our listeners has the power to kill the frogs from Wizard Ballisters, please.
some wizard bearings. You can send that question, suggestion, or fan art to oneepisodecast@gmail.com.
We got that good email. No numbers in this email.
No numbers.
High quality shit.
That is one spelled out as the word.
Yes.
And I guess that wraps up our first episode, huh?
Nice.
Yeah.
No
right.
objections.
I had a good time. Yeah.
Good job, gang.
Got everything.
Hooray!
All right. I wish I had a gavel so that I could call one of
To
you.
send us to the.
So I could send one of you to the death cube.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
That's the
every
part that
episode
makes
one
me-
of us gets killed
That's the
and is
part that
replaced
makes
with
me
someone
want to
else.
watch more Wizard.